Like I said, we have another interview with the one and only Kadeem. Do I say that right?
Yes,
Kadeem.
you did.
So he's all the way from Jamaica. So Kadeem Leslie is a global entrepreneur, world traveler, real estate investor, best-selling author, speaker, and educator on financial freedom. He's the author of bestseller Full Student: How I Run a Six-Figure Business and Still Get Straight A's. A book built from years of research experience and a system that helps students and professionals optimize learning, income, and life design. His work challenges people to live a full life, maximizing time, impact, health, earnings, and relationships, and joy every year. Full Money is the second book in the full series. Too many people are living life as if tomorrow is promised. Too many people settle for half their potential, rather then going after the full prize. The full movement leads a generation of people that are stepping out of their comfort zones and maximizing their lives in all of realms of existence. Welcome to Boost Radio,
Thank you
Kadeem.
so much for that introduction. That was perfect.
Amazing.
So
And
kind.
I'm literally, his books is in front of me. So I'm going to take a few pictures and then I'm going to post on our social media just in case people want to know what the books is all about and
Yes,
so
please. Yes,
on.
please.
First, I have to ask you, how are you?
I'm so happy. Life is fantastic. I'm here on the African continent. I've actually only been here for 2 weeks, as I said. We've come all the way from Jamaica.
Wow, and this
So,
is my first
quite-
time actually interviewing someone from Jamaica.
Right. So maybe we're both making history. It is great to be here, man.
Amazing. So let me just jump straight into the questions. How did your journey in Jamaica begin?
So my journey in Jamaica began, I came from humble beginnings. Unfortunately, my mom passed from cancer. And so then I think that kick-started my search for financial answers, right? So I tried to find as many answers as I could, how money worked, because I wanted, at 15 years old, I made a conscious decision that I wanted to be financially free before I hit 30. And there's not many 15-year-olds that you could imagine had that as a goal. So I obviously didn't do it overnight. It took me several years. I didn't hit financial freedom until I was 24, 25-ish, right? And so after that, I decided, okay, what's next? So then I came up with, okay, let me start traveling the world. Let me see, more of what's going on. Let me have some other endeavors to pursue. So for example, one of the next things I want to pursue is actually stand-up comedy, which, I think Africa is just a great place for that because, of course, I think you all know Trevor Noah, of course. So I think it's a great place to be.
Amazing. And then what would you tell a 15-year-old that has the mindset of, I want to do something with my life, but I don't know what?
This is one of my favorite topics because I was a professor for 2 years, sought out to Seton Hall University in New Jersey. And what I used to tell students, first day, every time that we had that first lesson, is that you need to fail faster. You need to fail faster, sooner, and bigger, right? Because up until that point, right? You can imagine high school, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to grade 12, maybe 13. You were told failure is bad, don't get an F, don't get a D, don't get a C, right? But then once you get into real life, you realize the people who never fail, never succeed. The people who aren't, so I'll ask you this question, right? If you were to try to get to $1 million, or let's say even bigger, $10 million, okay? How much money would you be willing to risk to get to 10 million? Can we all say in this room that we'd like $10 million?
Definitely.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Would you be willing to risk $500? Yeah, of course.
Definitely.
Of course. Would you be willing to risk $2 million?
2 million.
See now it changes.
Yeah, as it goes
Would
out.
you be willing to risk 7? Well, you want $10 million, but why haven't you risked 7 then? Would you be willing to risk 8? Probably still, yeah. I'd probably be willing to risk 8, yeah. You see? That's the mindset. But then now we ask, okay, can you put $50,000 on the line? And all of a sudden, we get, our heart starts racing, but that doesn't make sense. Because we have to be willing to risk to get the 10.
Amazing. And what I have to ask you, what made you decide to write?
Oh, writing is such a clear way for you to uncover your own thoughts. the first book I started writing was Full Student, and I was helping students while in college. I was helping them to get better grades. I was answering advice about different things, how to manage their time. And I thought to myself, okay, if I'm helping one or five or a dozen students, what if I wrote a book that could help students that I've never met? That would probably be useful, right? So then I started writing, and I started writing The Full Student in 2019, right? That's when I started writing. And then Full Money was kind of the same thing. Now, both of these books are selling in places I've never been to. People come up to me, I've never met you. They come up to me and say, I've never met you, but your book changed my life. I passed this exam with it. I'm getting my finances in order now. People from Canada, from the UK, from the USA, different states, I get DMs every week. This is, a book can only do that, right? Only content can do that. Only media can do that. I don't have to be there in person, but something that you've read from me can change your life. I think that's...
I have to ask, how can our listeners get in touch with your books? Or
Oh, of
find your
course.
books or buy your books?
So I will tell you. So if you Google my name, Kadeem Leslie, I'll repeat that. Kadeem, last name Leslie. The first thing that pops up is my Instagram. That's my most popular platform, and everything is from there. So my books are up there, my website is up there, and all of my programs are up there. We have free trainings for many people around the world, because I believe that information and access to money education should be accessible for everyone. And so then we have programs that we can take you through to get you to a place where, hey, when you one day you can come see us in person, right? Maybe I'll come to your country and be like, hey, you know what? I meet people here that I met here that they knew me from Jamaica. So cool, right? And so I think that's the power of online. You can find me on Instagram. That's the best place. Usually I respond to DM. So if you send me a DM, I will respond.
Amazing. And I do have to ask you mentioned that you like to travel, or you traveled quite a bit.
Yes.
So how do you earn money to travel?
It's so funny because before I found real estate. I started a real estate company in 2017. Before that, I had so many other failures, right? You can talk about, and I wouldn't say they were failures, right? Because I would say that they all learned. I'll give you an example of that. But I was a photographer, was a music teacher, right? I started a Facebook meme page. I had a YouTube channel, and so many things, right? But then after starting real estate, here's what actually happened. In real estate, pictures became my unfair advantage, because then now I understood photography getting into real estate, which means I didn't really fail at photography. It's just a skill that compounded. So then now my pictures tell a story of the same building that you're just perhaps staging just to sell, versus I'm selling the story. Very different. And so then after we started real estate went very well. We moved from one property, or actually one bedroom, to one property, to three properties, to seven. Now we have over 20, I think 28, 27, something like that. And so then that is our largest company. Then we have a few other companies that, we do. And then I've been traveling full time after getting financial freedom for the past 4 years. So I'm actually not even yet 30. So that's been a really amazing experience to travel. I've been in South America. I've learned Spanish. I've learned Portuguese. So now we're here doing the same thing in Africa. And I'll be here in African continent, traveling from country to country, maybe for another 2.5, maybe 3 years full time. So I'm
amazing.
Very excited for what's next.
Amazing. 10:21 and you're still tuned into Bush Radio 89.5 FM, the mother of community radio in Africa. Do hit us up on our WhatsApp. That's 061-862-1065. And in the studio, I have Kadeem, global entrepreneur, world traveler, real estate investor, best-selling author, speaker, and educator on financial freedom. He's also an author of bestseller Full Student, How I Run a Six-Figure Business and Still Get Straight A's, a book built from years of research experience in system that helps students and professionals optimize learning, income, and full design. His work challenges people to live a full life, maximize time, impact, health, earnings, relationships, and joy every year. His second book is also Full Money. Talk about full money. So
yes, of course.
Talk to us about what is full money about.
Full money. Okay, yeah. So the title Full, obviously you see it's full student and the full money. Mm-hmm. So full is actually a life philosophy of mine. It's not religious, but it's just a philosophy, and it's how I live my life, right? So then full has three definitions. The first definition is that we are multifaceted people. All that means is that we are not only financial, We are mental, we're emotional, we're spiritual, and we have all of these different sides to us, even physical, right? Second definition, you should try to maximize all of these areas of your life. Don't just make money and then you are a walking red flag, right? You don't want someone stepping on your shoes and all of a sudden you're on the floor crying. That's probably not good, right? And then the third definition is that you want to live your best year every single year. So then you don't want to, I'm sure you know these people, right? If you get to 80 and they're still talking about the college days, right? That touchdown or the goal that they scored, or that's probably not the best life, right? So you want last year, even if you're 88, 87 should be your best year, right? And I think that makes a very fulfilling life, not only in the micro, but in the big picture. Cool. So then full money was, okay, how do I have a great relationship with money so that I don't have to worry about it at the end of every month? What would be a pathway from beginning to the end of financial freedom, which is why the book is so long. It's 400 pages, right? So then here's where we start. Obviously, you have to earn money. So then there's actually a couple different formulas in the book, but this is the lead formula in the book. To get to financial freedom, you need 4 things. First, you need to start with income. This is what they teach you how to get in school. Or you can learn it from YouTube, doesn't matter. If you're an MBA player or you're a car wash person, it's still income, right? Then you need assets. So all of your money goes into assets. So then your assets could be, some people, they want to start a gas station. Cool, that's expensive for many people. But you can also start a tent selling hot dogs. All of us can sell hot dogs, right? You can do a car wash, right? Then all of your money from your assets goes into investments. Most people skip this part, which is a mistake, because they take the money that they earn from the hot dog stand and then they spend it. Mistake. You take that money and you put it into another investment. That could be, okay, let's take that hot dog money and let's put that into maybe a car rental, right? Let's take that hot dog money and let's put it into, maybe a short-term rental, right? Let's put it into maybe some vending machines. Cool, no problem. Then the fourth is lifestyle, and you only live on the income from your investments, not your assets. So let's look at it practically. How many times have you heard of NBA players only earning income? The income stops and then they go broke. All the time. So it doesn't matter at what level. You must follow this formula. If you study it, you'll see it over and over and over again. You can think of Michael Jordan, right? What did Michael Jordan become a billionaire for? Shoes. Which is a what? An asset. And then he took that asset money and then put it into real estate, right? He owns, I think, a NASCAR team. Same play at every level, right? That's how you secure your financial freedom. And so then the assets, this is all you need to focus on for the rest of your life. It's real estate, business, and investing. That's the big 3 in the book. So then if you just focus on these 3 for the rest of your life, you'll be fine.
I'm gonna make some money today. and then lastly, what's your favorite quote of all time?
My favorite quote of all time is actually a quote by Henry Ford. It's at the end of every single one of my emails. And it's, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, both are true.
Amazing.
Mic drop, I'm just kidding.
I learned a lot. Lastly, can you please repeat to our listeners who just tuned in your social media handles?
Of course.
Where they can find your book.
Of course. So you can find me at IamKade_. So I'll spell that for you. IAMKADE_. And of course, you can just Google my name. My website and everything will pop up. My name is spelled KADEEM. My last name LESLIE. Again, first name KADEEM. Last name LESLIE. I'm there. I respond to DMs. I'm one of those people. I'm very active on social media. So, you can follow the journey. You can also learn. We have tons of resources for you. Everyone. It's actually funny because Full Money actually made history. It was the first business book written by a Jamaican into Spanish and Portuguese. If you speak these languages as well, obviously you're listening in English right now, but if you want a Spanish or Portuguese version, we have it for you on Amazon. It's a piece of history. So I gotcha.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Mr. Kadeem Leslie, for coming out and sharing this information with us. I definitely learned a lot today. And I'm going to follow those tips though.
Yes.
I'm going to do it. Thank you
Amen.
so much. Have a lovely day further. Eh?
Thank you. You too.
Amazing. And that was Kadeem Leslie, like I said, world traveler, entrepreneur, real estate investor, best-selling author of both How I Run a Six-Figure Business and also Full Money. Go support him and visit his websites, like he said, his social media pages and all that. Lastly, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Amazing. Up next, we have the